What?
What's your problem?
What?
Why are you giving me the finger?
I'm walking away.
Huh?
Am I free to go?
Why are you giving me the finger?
Am I free to go?
No. Come
For
here.
what reason?
Why are you giving me the finger?
I'm free to go.
Okay. Let's talk about this right off the bat. Why is he saying, am I free to go? What he wants to establish is a detention. So this is something that he does, okay? Right off the bat, I'm already getting this sense from this. So our auditors, that's what they want, is they want us to detain them illegally. So that's why he's like, oh, am I free? Am I free? And the officer says no. So now he's saying, now he's being detained. So, which we have to have some type of reasonable suspicion or probable cause to detain someone. So that's what's going on here right off the bat.
Come here.
I'm free to go.
No, you're not.
What?
Get over here.
What?
Get over here.
Why?
Because.
Is that a lawful order?
Yeah.
For what reason?
Because you're giving me the finger.
That's legal.
No, it isn't.
Says who?
Says it all.
Pull up the law.
Huh?
Pull up the law.
What's your name?
What's the law?
This is not going to be good for the officer at all. If I bet that I can't say that I got flipped off a lot, but if I had $1 for every time I was flipped off driving down the street, I'd probably have a couple $100. People just don't like us, and they're trying to bait you in. It's just one of those things where they flip you off and you just kind of smile at them and you just keep driving. It's the price of business. It's for you to get upset because someone flips you off. It's like, come on. You got other things you could be doing. I mean, let's go get a cup of coffee. That's even something better to do than to deal with this person here right now, because he's looking for that. He's looking for this. You're giving him what he wants, and it's like, why are you? He's winning. That's a part about this, is that why do you want someone else to win? I mean, if you want to be the winning recipient, don't get baited. And this guy's winning. That's what he's doing right now.
What's your name? How old are you?
Have a good one.
Please. Whatever. What?
You heard me. What,
Come
you
here.
I'm afraid of you?
Come here. Get over here. Get over here.
What?
Get over here.
I'm not doing anything illegal.
Yeah, you are. You just cursed me off.
That's not a crime.
Yes, it is.
Says who?
Says me.
Says who?
Turn around.
I don't think they're in California, but there are different states have different laws about using words most likely to provoke a response, and that's how it's usually written. Words most likely to provoke a response, and what that law was intended, which is it's a misdemeanor, was intended that someone couldn't just walk up to you and say, "Yeah, your mama's a B," because that's going to cause you to get upset and possibly hit them.
What legal right?
Every time I rode by him twice, he shot me the finger. So I turned around and said, "What, you
Is that a crime?
No problem?" Then he tells me
That's not a
this is
crime.
causing public disturbance. Then he
That's
tells
not,
me to
no, that's not a crime. Yeah, off. That's not a crime. That's not a crime. He's looking at you because he's like, what the f*** do you want me to do? Because it's not a crime. I know my rights.
Who are you?
I don't have to say any of that.
You do if you're being detained.
What's that?
You do if you're being detained.
For what reason?
What
What legal reason am I being detained for?
Where are you coming from and where are you?
What legal reason am I being detained for? I need to know that. Legally, I need to know that.
Why are you
shooting me the finger.
Why are you?
Is that illegal?
Why are you?
Yeah.
Yes, it is. It's causing a
Let me stop there, because I'm reading cursing public is absolutely 100% protected with free speech and is flipping off a cop. I don't want viewers to, and here's the thing, is that when we watch these videos, viewers should do their own research, okay? You can't just take this as gospel, because the back officer sounds pretty credible when he says the public disturbance, because here in California, that law I'm telling you about is also under the public disturbance section as well. Once again, New Jersey, laws are all different. Remember, states pass their own laws. Generally, we all have about the same laws with just a little bit of differences, but there could be something on the books that says you're not allowed to cause a disturbance in public with cussing, something to that effect. And if you're watching this and you're throwing your popcorn at me, I do apologize. I'm just telling you, could be there. Remember, we vote for the people who make the laws. So if we don't like the laws, we got to vote for different people who will, obviously implement different types of laws.
A public disturbance.
I know the
by
law.
being a nuisance.
I know the law.
All right. So at that point, what he is doing is he's not saying you're being charged with anything. At that
I'm
point,
just
he's
figuring out
detaining
what's wrong with you.
to make
What's
sure that
going
there
on?
is nothing
Make
wrong.
sure you're okay.
Make sure that you're okay.
What reason does he need to detain me?
He thought maybe he thought you were signaling him down. I'm not sure.
That I was doing what?
Were you signaling to him?
No,
Listen, I was
no,
just-
you knew very well that I wasn't signaling to you, right? I wasn't signaling
Well,
to you.
you bring attention to yourself.
That's not signaling.
Your action's strange. I'm making sure you're okay.
Dude, that's so funny. Like, you're not here for my safety. You're not trying to protect
How do
me.
you know?
You're walking on
maybe-
the side of the road and you're cursing and you're flipping the bird.
Once at him. I gave him the finger once. That
you know
will
him?
not hold
Do
up.
you know him?
That will not hold
Why
up
are
in
you
a court
giving
of
him the
law.
finger?
That will not hold up in a court of
Why
law.
are you giving
I
him
know
the
my
finger?
rights.
Do you know him?
It's not your business.
Do you know him?
It's not your business. I
It is
plead the
my
fifth.
business.
I plead the fifth then. You guys make nothing out of
So,
something.
by you cursing and using vulgar gestures,
So what's
causing
the First Amendment for?
It's causing a public disturbance.
What's
and a
the First
public alarm.
Amendment for?
Okay. First Amendment is for your freedom of speech. Okay.
Okay.
What does that have to do with
Was I making
using
a call to
gestures?
action? Was I making a call to action? Was I? Was I like
When you were
threatening
acting-
you?
I'm reading this again. I'm reading this thing, and it's like he's going rings. He's actually not talking rings around these guys. He's talking gibberish. A call to action. Okay, he's getting crazy with different terms here. He's obviously read some case laws, but there's other case laws that could support the officer's actions. Now, at this point in time, the first officer who did the stop should actually just stay quiet because it seems like the other guy has a better rapport. The other guy's seems like he's able to, what he's saying, the subject that they stopped is kind of going with it. Not buying it at 100%, but at this point in time, both don't need to be talking. Let's just diffuse the situation and figure out what we're going to do.
I did stop when he originally said it, but I was asking, is it
And then he
illegal?
told me
Is it
to
a
F off,
lawful?
and he took off.
Yeah, because I kept walking because you weren't pursuing at the first. You only started pursuing because I said you. That's
listen.
when you got a little upset.
Okay, so
he
listen.
got his panties in
so
the pants.
listen, we're here at this point now. Okay, you've brought the attention to yourself. You
Yep.
caused the public alarm.
Yup.
So now,
Well,
what
I'd like
we
to
are
see you legally hold
so now
that
what we
in
are
court,
doing,
because-
I'm not charging you with anything, so I
Well,
don't
I
legally
would-
need to hold anything in court.
Well,
Okay, what I'm doing is
I
I'm
can always
trying to
bring
figure
this
out
up.
why you're walking on the side of the road, okay, and why you are continuing to signal to a police officer.
I wasn't signaling.
Okay.
See, now you changed the story.
So-
Now you're changing the story. Was I signaling or which one was it?
So what
'Cause
were
now
you
you're-
doing?
Well, I want to know from your perspective.
Okay, so here it is. Do cops make mistakes? Let's yes, okay. For us to act like we don't make mistakes, that would be the wrong thing to do, okay? And people are all like, well, they should know the law. Okay, let me explain something to right now to the boys and girls watching this. The penal code section for most states is this thick. Thousands upon thousands of law. Okay, now should we be versed in all of those? That would be great, but we're not. Okay, we go through a 26-week academy, especially here in the state of California. You have a 14 to 18-week training period. You're not covering all of that stuff. You learn the law, and you learn the most popular laws is when you enforce them. I know people who could not do a DUI investigation to save their life because they just don't do DUIs, okay? Because their shift, they don't run into those people. And then you have someone who works graveyard they're so proficient at DUIs because every night they get a DUI because they work nights, okay? So there are different levels to police officer training. Now, should officers be well-versed in the law? Yes, adamantly, yes. I'm not saying that they shouldn't be, but we're not, okay? We know quite a bit of it. You hope you're right. That's why there's so many checks and balances. That's why a supervisor will take a look at your arrest. Another supervisor will take a look at that arrest as well. Like where I used to work, I was the watch commander. I would review with the probable cause declaration to detain somebody. I would review the officer's report. The sergeant would review it. There would be various different things that we would review. Now, going back to what I was originally going to say, yes, if my partner up on the street by doing something that, like this, maybe they detained something that shouldn't have been detained, then yes, I'm going to try to make it better. Okay, I'm going to, just like when you have poor customer service and you complain to the manager is going to tell you what you want to hear and then deal with the employee however they need to be dealt with. Maybe it's their first time offense. Maybe it's a history and they need to fire him. Same thing applies here. We're gonna try to make sure that we dust you off and send you on your way so you feel good, but we also, we don't want to make a mountain out of a molehill. I'm not saying it's, it happens this way all the time. Once again, there's 900,000 police officers in the United States. So, it's a lot. But, yeah, you are going to try to minimize the damage that's been done in this encounter. Definitely. A good supervisor would. I mean, a great supervisor would come out here and try to minimize the damage.
So what is your name?
Okay, I'm going to need all of your badge numbers.
I will give you everything written down on a card.
What's your rank?
I'll give it all to you on a card.
Rank?
Patrolman. I'm a patrolman. That's my rank. Patrolman.
Oh, patrolman?
Okay.
And you?
Corporal.
Okay.
Interesting.
So, what is your
I
name?
could give you...
If you have an ID, that's perfect.
Okay. I'll take it to court because this is still a detainment.
Are you a juvenile?
This is an illegal detainment.
Are you
so
a
I can
juvenile?
I'm not going to answer that.
You have to answer.
Why?
Because you're being detained.
I said I'll give you my ID, buddy.
Are you a juvenile?
You tell me.
No. Okay, so...
Better.
Because it has to be handled a little bit differently. That's all. If you're a juvenile, I have to call your parents and I have to advise them that I'm out with you and that I'm speaking.
Go ahead.
That's all it is. Okay?
He's such a
So what does that make you?
not a dude, this is illegal.
They sound pretty confident. This one guy sounds really, really confident. And I once again, I want the viewers to know this is that in context, it looks like a bad stop. Okay, in context, it does. Because the subject flipped the officer off, told him to F off, and then he continued to go on his way, and the officer stopped and detained him and handcuffed him. By the very fact of that, and not knowing New Jersey laws, it looks bad. Now, in context, could they have a legal reason to keep him detained? Based upon New Jersey law, that's where this would apply. That's exactly where this would come from. So I hope the viewers take that into context, that this, it could be a bad stop, and it may not be a bad stop. And they may go to court on this, and this guy may win a couple $100,000 for being illegally detained, or the judge may possibly throw it out because everything was fine. Those are those ones where it always starts off like this elevated thing. You hear a lot of these stories, and like I said, I watch plenty of YouTube videos in which, it looks bad for law enforcement, and then you do the follow-up a year or 2 years later, and you find out that nothing happened, that actually the judge threw the case out because of the merits of it. And then you'll read something where the officers were fired because, yes, they shouldn't have done any of this. So you got to really go back and take a look to see what really happened. I would really be interested to see what really happened here. Let's not mince words. I don't like this stop, okay? Let's not mince any words. I, as a supervisor, don't like this stop at all, okay? I don't. There was, to me, getting flipped off, price of business, go on your way, okay? So let's just, I don't want to say end it here, but let's just say this should have never have happened.
If you have any problems or anything, and you want to come down, you want to talk to somebody, our supervisors are always there as well. Okay?
Well, I'm going to take a lawsuit. So who would I press criminal charges against? For what?
You're gonna have to call. You're gonna have to call and figure that out with a lawyer.
I don't need to answer that. I'm asking you, where would I go to press charges against a police officer?
You would have to come down and file a complaint with the
It's
courts.
at this police station?
You would have to file a complaint with the courts.
Got it.
Okay, and then you can go from there if you want to see if you can press charges and whatnot if you violated your rights.
Appreciate it.
Okay.
Stay out of the
Am I free to
roadway,
go?
don't give us fingers.
Shut the up.
Stay out of the roadway.
Okay, so here's an interesting thing that I just caught. They said that stop walking on the road. Yes, the vehicle code section says pedestrians cannot be on the roadway. And that's pretty much specific in, I would say, just about every state. So could they detain him for a pet in the roadway? Yes, they could. And that would be the legal reason to detain him and then write him a citation. But they never said that until right now. They may have said it other places that I didn't catch it, but that would have, hey, I'm detaining you because you're a pedestrian in the roadway and that's against vehicle code section, blah, 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 blah. Done. You're done. You got him. So this where it also helps to be very proficient in the law because you could throw sections out there like that. I mean, there are so many different things in the vehicle code that people don't realize exist that help law enforcement officers to actually stop and talk to someone. I mean, riding the bike at night with no light on, riding the bike on a sidewalk, riding a bike without a reflector at night. I mean, the list just keeps going on. So, especially the vehicle code book is actually thicker than the penal code book. Yeah, that's overall. I'm not feeling this one. Now, did the officers do anything illegal? I don't know. I don't know because, well, first of all, they didn't make an arrest. Thank God they didn't make this worse, right? Thank God. But they could have done something wrong. He has every right to complain. And I always tell people, you know what? Make the complaint. A lot of departments are getting away from doing their own internal investigations and putting them to outside investigators. That's the best for transparency. So that would be, make that complaint. And but obviously this kid has a problem. He has some issues, and he hates the police. And just go with it. Okay, hates the police. So what?